issue of those alliances and partnerships in the Indo-Pacific. I'll just cite three examples, recent ones. The work we've been doing with the Japanese and the Koreans in the trilateral format, trying to strengthen the ties between the two of them, but also trilaterally has been critically important. Second, AUKUS, of course, is an innovative game changer, strategic pivot that is very, very important. We need to work together to implement that and get the optimal pathway off and running. And then third, the Indo-Pacific Quad, which this administration has elevated to the leaders level, and it's become more and more an engine of our work in the Indo-Pacific. Those are three examples. There's many others that, if confirmed, I need to work to ensure that we're moving the ball downfield.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Fisher. Senator King, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Saleh, you're in a key position, and it seems to me that policy, we're at a moment, you talked about 18 and then 22, the strategies and the shift, but we need to have a shift toward the new kind of warfare. And I'm concerned that electronic warfare, cyber, and the vulnerability of some of our major assets have to be taken into account. I mean, it's a cliche, but I worry that we're preparing for the last war. What is your sense in terms of our the adequacy of our defense in terms of electronic warfare, cyber, hypersonics?
Senator King, thank you for the question, and thanks for your leadership and advocacy on that issue set. It's very, very important. I think the National Defense Strategy does stress the importance of those domains and ensuring the United States is both investing the resources and having the right strategy to get at the threats in those areas. I remember well from when I previously served in the Pentagon 10 years ago, Secretary Panetta giving a very important speech talking about Cyber Pearl Harbor, which was one of the first efforts of a SecDef to talk about cybersecurity from a Defense Department perspective. I know there's been a lot of good work underway thanks to the support and leadership of the Congress on these issues. And so if confirmed, I'd look forward to working with you and seeing how we can advance this issue.
I remember using the image of a cyber Pearl Harbor myself. I'm not sure whether I stole it from Panetta or he stole it from me, but in any case, it's an absolutely critical element of looking forward. I think one of the strengths you bring to this is your experience in the State Department. Alliances are our asymmetric advantage. China has customers, we have allies. And to the extent we can continue to build on those alliances, particularly in Asia and in the Pacific, do you agree that that's one of the most important strategic and policy developments, both from the Defense Department point of view, but also from the Department of State and the U.S. government?
Oh, absolutely, Senator King. This is our strategic advantage. It's an enduring advantage that we have. We need to not just tend to those alliances and partnerships, but make them stronger and expand them out. When I previously served at the Pentagon as the Assistant Secretary for International Security Affairs, I covered the Middle East and Europe and the Western Hemisphere and Africa. And I spent most of my waking hours working with our foreign partners on those are what we're doing together, either through alliances or through strong partnerships. I think there's a big piece of the job that I have been nominated for, and if confirmed, I would do, that I think of as defense diplomacy, working with our allies and partners in conjunction with the State Department to ensure that we are doing what we can to cooperate, to give them resources, and to find ways we can work together to solve common problems.
One of the most important policy questions you've already touched on is Taiwan, and the challenge, it seems to me, and we can discuss this further, not in this setting, is the line between deterrence and provocation. We want to deter the Chinese Communists from any kind of violent attack on Taiwan. On the other hand, we don't want to take steps that would provoke it. Let me turn to you, Ms. Abercrombie. I was trying to get a hold of Tom Tillis's handgun spec, which is an 8-inch stack of paper. We've got to do more off-the-shelf acquisition and not pay ridiculous amounts of money for custom platforms and devices and whatever it is the military needs. Do you agree?
Absolutely, Senator. Yes. I think we have so many innovations happening in the commercial sector today that it is incumbent upon the Defense Department to look outside for those developments as well as inside.
I hope you start with what can we find off the shelf rather than what can we design and have custom built. I hope that you want to flip that premise. You've touched on this, but I think it's essential that we buy the IP along with the platform. not just for software, but for the design of a valve, so that my vision is every depot, every hangar, every ship has a 3D printer, and we don't have to wait for somebody to make a missing valve or a missing bolt or something that's necessary, because we don't have very good availability, both in terms of our aircraft and in terms of our naval facilities. So not just IP of software. I hope you'll commit, when you're buying a platform, you should buy the IP for the whole project, so that we can then build on that ourselves. Do you agree?
Senator, if confirmed, I will make it a priority to ensure the acquisition community is working to bake that into the contracting process from the outset.
Thank you very much. I'll have several other questions for the record. I hope to see you do more work with smaller businesses who tell us the Pentagon is just so much trouble to deal with, they don't submit applications. We're missing a lot of innovations, so please attend to that. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator King. Senator Cotton, please.
Mr. Shirley, and